Lagos Assembly reviews activities of Neighborhood Safety Corps 1 year after its creation. Lagos lawmakers condole with South African government over the demise of Winnie Mandela Plus. Lagos Assembly celebrates Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu at 66. We have details coming up.
1 year after the creation of the Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps, the Lagos State House of Assembly has decided to look at their impact in the fight against crime. The House also talked about the challenges facing the Corps members in their day-to-day activities. This is Lagos Parliament. It's nice to have you join us. I am Abimbola Agbebi.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Watch updates on weekly events, presentation of bills, passage of laws, adoption of resolutions, and many more. Also, get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week and watch the legislators. Observe plenary in Yoruba language. Lagos Parliament, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. on TVC News Nigeria. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislature closer to you.
It's been 1 year since the creation of the Neighborhood Safety Corps, birthed by a law that emanated from the State House of Assembly. At this plenary, the lawmakers felt the need to evaluate the performance of the Security Corps members across the state in the last 12 months.
I watch it on TVC, the celebration, and I called the majority leader that the need for us to talk about this institution. We need to talk about it because we know our own position and our perception about security in this part of the country. We have been agitating for state police. We have been clamoring for restructuring, which state police is one of the things we've been asking for. And setting up an organization such as Safety Corps is a step towards that direction. And we must do everything to ensure that this institution is a success. Anything short of that would not give us opportunity to agitate or continue to request for state police. We should mirror what we have in that form, and it is by only evaluating their activities, performances for the last 1 year that we can be sure if we are where we are going or we are still far away. And the need for us. In saying this, I think we need to thank our governor, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, for the investments he has done in this organization, amount of money he has committed in the development of this organization. So my colleagues, I think we need to evaluate what Neighborhood Safety Corps has been doing in the last 12 months. The chairman, he will be in a better position to lead us in this discussion.
On our symbol, our iconic speaker, Right Honorable Muda Shiru Ajayobosa, who is now the Chief Akomolasha of Ibadan land. Mr. Speaker, I take that as noted by the colleagues, but let me quickly go to what you asked me to do. The Neighborhood Safety Corps, which is a product of a law of this house, is over a year old, like we have been told, but is still battling with a lot of teething problems.
While some of the members commended the role played by the Corps in the abatement of the famous Bado crisis that rocked the Ikorodu community in the year 2017, others feel the neighborhood safety officers performed below expectation.
I would say clearly that the creation of the Corps has had very good impact in my own constituency. So, Mr. Speaker, we are beginning to reap the purpose for which we have created the law. But we should be far away from where we are today, if not for some hindrances.
We need to really give them some time while we are doing the oversight function on them, for them to grow into what we are expecting, or what we are expected of them.
No uniform and shoes, no insurance cover. All this will mitigate against good and effective performance. In my own neighborhood, they've done extremely well, but they can do better if they are well managed.
The mode of operation of this agency is unprofessional. In fact, those people that are in charge of operation are not trained. Apart from the chairman or the head of that agency, those people that are operating have no skill in security matters.
The House found shocking information provided by the House Committee Chairman on Information Security and Strategy that the Corps members had worked without pay for the past 12 months.
Some have complained that 11 months after they have been engaged by the body, they were yet to be paid any salary. I've taken this up several times with the chairman of the organization. He kept on telling me that there is a body of consultants set up by the state government to investigate deeply each and every one.
Condemning this development, the House resolved to invite the officials of the agency to appear before it with a view to addressing the administrative issues facing it.
On a very sad note, the Lagos State House of Assembly has written a letter of condolence to the South African government over the demise of the country's anti-apartheid campaigner and the former wife of Nelson Mandela. The lawmakers described Winnie Madikizela Mandela as South Africa's most prominent figure, whose bravery and determination to end institutionalized discrimination cannot be easily forgotten.
Winnie Mandela is important because her contribution to South African struggle and the entire liberation of African race cannot be set aside. Given that Lagos is not just only a center of excellence, that we are also center of freedom, I feel in my own wisdom that it was recognizing the contribution of Winnie Mandela in these hollow chambers. It will be appropriate for us to condole with the government of South Africa, both at air in Nigeria and at home in South Africa. Winnie Mandela's contribution, as I've said, she's an iconoclast of our own status, and he matched with any other contributors to South African struggle, both intellectually and in terms of practical participation in the liberation of South Africa. People don't know, or people might have forgotten, that for some number of years she was also in prison for the struggle and the liberation of South Africans from apartheid. So I wish this honorable House to recognize and observe 1 minute silence for Winnie Mandela, and perhaps do a letter to the appropriate embassy, which is this Embassy of Federal Republic, Embassy of South Africa in Nigeria.
Mr. Speaker, please permit me also to join the people of Africa, not only South Africa, but people of Africa, for the demise of this very great woman, a woman of substance, a woman that makes her womanhood to be reckoned with throughout the universe. Mr. Speaker, this woman had a virtue that all other women in the world should emulate. During the imprisonment of the husband, he stood with the principle that the husband left behind, and also was even a leader of men at that very period. And this one shows that, well, whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. That's why I joined Honorable Muiwa to say that this man's contribution toward the development of Africa in terms of fighting for freedom is unquantifiable.
You have said a great woman, a very loyal one, very resilient, who stood by her husband. She was loyal to the husband and to the party. She participated in the fight against apartheid throughout her lifetime. And I think there's a lesson for women in general to learn from her. And that is to show that they should not take the backseat while we are struggling for the freedom of our people and for the betterment of our people. Well, with this, I think she is an epitome that we need to identify. She was an epitome we need to identify with, to encourage other women to also emulate such character. And I believe we should identify and sympathize with the governments of the South Africa and the people. We've been doing that before now. During the struggle period, Nigeria boldly stood by the activists then, contributed money, contributed a lot of things, and we should not be tired by now. So Mr. Clark, as requested by Honorable Jimo, kindly do a letter to through the South Africa Embassy here in Nigeria to the government, stating that we in this parliament representing people of Lagos identify with them at these critical moments. Thank you, Honorable Jimo. I'm sure we are all in tandem with this prayer. All in favor, say ayes. Those against, nay. The ayes have it.
Now, more encomium have continued to pour in for the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who turned 66 a few days ago. On the floor of the Lagos State House of Assembly, lawmakers spoke glowingly about the political leader, reeling out his qualities and contributions to the state and the country at large.
The colloquium held in honor of our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, took place on Thursday, and I want to remind us that, as usual, and every year we also stand to identify with him and celebrate him during his birthday. So today is another opportunity for us to also eulogize his quality, the good things he stands for, and a lot of contribution he has made to developments of democracy in Nigeria and progress of this great state, Lagos State. So I want to invite you, my colleagues. I've seen, even before the invitation, I can see the lights on. So let us do that in brief.
He's a man that has come to bring all his experience, wide and vast, to bear on the leadership of politics and governance in Lagos State. To captain of industries, to urbans and chiefs, to all manners of men and women from all walks of life. Everybody turned out in large number to be part of that colloquium that has become a reference point in providing answers to socio-economic problems confronting the nation. Every year, each topic that is very preponderant and resonating to the people of Nigeria will be picked. This year's topic was investing in the people. And rightly, it was an occasion for people to see that the federal government of Nigeria, led by Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, is truly investing in the people. And Asiwaju, he is the apostle of investment in human capital development. To this extent, Mr. Speaker, I want to propose that we, after, in the usual manner, we toast in celebration of the great icon of democracy in Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to wish him many more happy years of sustainable relevance and importance in the polity of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A crisis resolution manager, a man with large heart, a man that also believes, like Honorable Rema has said, investment on people. He's a man of ideas. And I know, Mr. Speaker, the highest investment today is the investment on the people on earth. And that's what Asiwaju is noted for.
He made the revenue of the Lagos State at 600 million. Today, we are collecting and generating billions of naira, not less than 25 and above. If you look at it today, Lagos State is being appreciated in terms of paying salary regularly and pensions, simply because he created a ministry called Science and Technology. You know the time of your entry, and your exit time has been stated. Whether you like it or not, go there and do the adjustment. 3 months to the time, you see a light that prepare to leave, and you leave. Immediately after you leave, your payment, your gratitude is ready. And apart from that, if you look at the creation of the local government, it has given a lot of employment to the numbers of political office holders and civil servants. Today, we have not less than 910 political office holders, including the chairman, vice chairman, and secretary, and supervisors, and 830 HOD, including the council manager, council treasurer, and others. And if you look at the performance at the local government level, you will see that these people are performed creditably. I want to give kudos to him.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu is alive, he's going to live long, he's going to live up to 80, 90, 100 till death comes. Presently, his presence, his contribution, his service to humanity is weightier than Mountain Kilimanjaro. I also joined the colleague of mine that wish to celebrate this iconoclast, man of substance, an ideologue, the father to all of us here, including Mr. Speaker and even Honorable Bisu Yusuf and other honorable colleagues, that I wish him many more years of good health and service to humanity.
Start with the prayer, and my prayer is for God to continue to sustain and preserve Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this country and for humanity. Because with his vision, he has sustained Lagos State in the hands of progressive elements. And it's because of that that we are having these developments in Lagos State that stands as sine qua non in the country. His doggedness has assisted Nigeria to march in the hands of progressive, to the extent that today we have APC in control of the nation. APC fought and won election against an incumbent president. It is a feat that can only be sustained by doggedness. And his doggedness also has made people to call him the last man standing at the time when all progressive parties, progressive states were falling into the hands of PDP. Mr. Speaker, much that anybody wants to say about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the fact remains that he's a man who has chosen a path of honor, dignity, and no wonder every progressive mind were actually talking about him as having invested. He's an enigma who cannot die, because those he has helped will continue to resonate his name.
This is a man who is a friend to so many people, both rich and poor, a leader of men. He has made so many people who are what they are today. I salute his resilience in the face of a battle. When things appear so tough, Asiwaju is going. He keeps on going. And you have so many people who are trying to emulate him today. We have so many Jagabans here and there. But the only Jagaban I know is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I wish him many more years and service to humanity. Happy birthday, Asiwaju.
It's the birthday of my father, your father, our father, the progenitor and the modernizer of politics and democratic processes. And indeed, not only Lagos, but the entire Africa. One major characteristic that Asiwaju has is that he invests in people. He invests in credible people. Investing in credible people is his hallmark. The records are there. I feel honored and indeed grateful to share a day like that with him, celebrating his birthday. He's a man of honor, is a dogged fighter, who is obviously worthy of an emulation, and I use this opportunity to wish him a very, very successful happy birthday and many more years to come. Thank you.
Jagaban of Africa, that on behalf of myself and my constituents, we wish him a long life and prosperity, and he's going to witness more and more on this. And at the same time, before my brother also forget to wish himself a birthday, my Honorable Kasumu, because he's celebrating with our father, and I think it's very good. I wish you long life and prosperity too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. While I'm joining my colleagues to celebrate this icon, what else can we say about Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu? All have been said, but I just really go into the School of Management Studies that believes that leaders are made, they are not born. But this can be seen in what Asiwaju have been able to do in the area of discovery of lot of leaders in this state and outside this state in Nigeria as a whole. Many people that you cannot really think of that they can become or be useful into the administration of Nigeria today were discovered by him, and it has really confirmed that leaders are made and not born. And among those people that were made are the likes of Obasas, the likes of Oshibajus, the likes of every one of us here, and it really shows that we are made. And I really join my colleagues to say happy birthday to this great man.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just an ordinary human being. I've come to appreciate him based on his policies that is masses-oriented. When he was the governor of Lagos State, you all appreciate the fact that his policies, his projects are tailored towards meeting the needs of the masses. And in addition to that, Asiwaju is not just a giver, he's a sacrificial giver. He gives out to people that change their life. And that is the reason why today in Nigeria, I don't think there's any institution or any individual that have made others like Asiwaju. Finally, Mr. Speaker, Asiwaju is a fountain of knowledge and ideas. The man, his brain doesn't sleep. I keep wondering whether he sleeps at all. We were talking about Nigeria and the need to change the nation to the next level. And before you knew it, he said, Mr. President, I'm coming with a guideline, a blueprint on how to use pension fund for mortgage financing. And when I sat down and ruminate over it, I said, this idea will change the course of this nation, and it's going to impact positively on the lives of the poor. Mr. Speaker, my colleague, it will not be out of place if all of us, we go and meet Asiwaju and have a dinner or lunch with him. I think the man worth more than that. Asiwaju, you will live forever.
I remember when I was still on the other side for my party here, Asiwaju had been somebody I've always admired because of his posture and the way he carried on his things. I remember the 1 million march. Despite the fact there was rumor then that he's not physically fit, but he led that march that today, that made our great party today a success. So for me, I see him as a determined leader, somebody who, when he believes on a particular issue, he goes all out and do the very best to ensure he accomplishes it. For me, it's a role model, somebody who have always, I look up to him and believe I can as well learn from him. So I use this opportunity to wish him the best, good luck, physical good health, on behalf of myself, my family, and my constituents. Happy birthday, my leader. Thank you.
Thank you especially. That we should all come together to rally around this man, because it is very difficult to come across Araba tree, as we all know in this part of the nation. But when we decide to put down Araba tree, we should understand the fact that no Iroko tree will replace the position of Araba. And we should start seeing him as our own Araba, which is not easy to come across. So I want to appeal to each one of us, from Lagos to Oyo, Ekiti, Oshun, Ondo, that we have been blessed by Almighty Allah with this man. And it is our duty and responsibility to rally around him, protect him and support him so that we can always be proud of our race. Having a man of this nature is not easy to come by. A man of this substance is not easy to find elsewhere, but we are opportune, we are privileged, and we should be able to support him in our, most especially in our political activities. That would be my own appeal to all of us. Mr. Clark, in view of what has been said by our people, our colleagues, kindly do a letter to our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, congratulating him for his 66th birthday, and we wish him more of it. Thank you.
To swear the initials of the great icon of democracy, Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
while I continue to pray God to spare his life and be able to deliver the dividend of democracy to Nigeria.
We need him around. I also wish that we continue to drink from his fountain of knowledge.
Lots of love from myself, my siblings, my wife, your grandkids. Happy birthday and many more returns.
On that note, it's a wrap on this week's episode of Lagos Parliament. We thank you for watching. To catch up with previous episodes, log on to www.youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Abimbola Agbebi. See you next week.